Welcome to Being Humankind with your hosts Brian, Mike, and Neely. We explore what it means to be human in a time of disconnection.
What is it that makes you feel most alive?
I think that would be, I bring it back to Captain Ahab every time, but we won't. We don't have to go down that road. I think I get to have a lot of different conversations and meet a lot of different people. And I think watching people come to their own realization about what they want to do, or when they're talking about it, but they say like, yeah, but I only have 2 weeks off this year, so I can't fit that in. And I don't respond. I just sort of let them reflect on what they're saying. And a lot of times people are like, okay, well, that's an excuse, or they figure out what their hurdles are while we're talking about it without me saying, you've said that for 5 years or something like that. It's just having a conversation like we were just talking about, letting people come to their own conclusions about it, or letting them get there however they get there, but definitely helping like sort of influence, which choice is the one that'll help you more, but letting them pick which, the lesser of two evils if they can, in that sense. But yeah, talking to strangers literally, and not like, oh, how's the weather? I see you're reading the paper and, I read that article type of like the small talk stuff. I could skip all that, but after having that little awkward piece of conversation, what stories actually come to light when you find that common thread, whether it's a baseball team you like, or you've been to the same place, or you're visiting the same place at the same time right now in the conversation. It's all, people are, I genuinely believe they're nice, but we have so much noise coming in all around us all the time that you meet a lot of people after they're flustered for the day or the week or forever. So you don't get a genuine chance to meet who they actually want you, who they, want you to see in themselves, type of thing. But I think having ways to restart a conversation, or just start a conversation in a more unique way where it just shuts you off from the rest of the world and you just have that one conversation. I think it just, I don't know, it motivates me to keep having conversations with people and keep meeting new people. And that's what I enjoy. It's not about going somewhere I've been 100 times and doing that same thing. It's about doing something completely new and sort of being nervously excited. And, it's almost like being anxious, but in a good way.
I like that term, nervously excited.
I don't know who, I'm sure somebody has said it in the last thousands of years, but I'd say it all the time. I talk about that before, even I get to speak all over the place in front of crowds that I definitely should not speak in front of, type of things. And every single time I'm not like, oh, I've done this 1,000 times, this will be a piece of cake. My hands like, this every single time. And I can't tell if it's 90% excited, 10% nervous, or 90% nervous, 10% excited. But after you say 3 words, you don't know what else happened for the next X amount of time. I feel like you just enjoy it and you're in it.
You just get like, you're so in the moment. What do you mean? I just curious, when you say crowds that you shouldn't be speaking in front of, what do you mean?
I don't mean like so with Ahab, it's just, everybody, they invite us, and it's almost like they say afterwards, when I ask them if they could write a testimonial or something, they say, we weren't sure about this, odd guy and his even odder statue, but after he was here, he was like the crowd favorite. Or like every testimonial is like that, where they were doubtful because it's not the same as everything else, but they were so happy afterwards because they took the chance on it. Like I drove out to Akron, Ohio to give a Pekakucha talk. And I might have butchered how, there's a debate on how you say it, but it's like a 6.5 minute talk. I drove all the way out to Ohio. They're free to, it's not like we're paid or anything, but it's just where there was one that I was like, Akron sounds cool. So we went out there, had the talk, and then I went back on different occasions, basically because people heard me there. They asked me to be on the radio there. And I was on the radio there. And when they had their TEDx conference, I put my name in the hat, and there were so many people in the area that knew about me already. When they asked around, it was sort of like a no-brainer to have me. And it just kept, after I met a couple strangers there, we just kept being like gravity was pulling us back there. And it's just the energy after meeting a couple people that they can spread in a bigger city like that to have us keep coming back or lead to a TEDx talk. And we're talking with them now about post-COVID just coming and doing, you know, like a volunteer project / speak somewhere / you know, just do the full circle of everything you can do with a group of people when this is all over. And it's just 5 years ago, I didn't even know where Akron was. Like, I don't follow basketball that often, so you know, I've heard it before with LeBron James stuff, but it did. If somebody says it just wouldn't make me look over and see who was talking about that in conversation. It had no relevance. That place in the world didn't exist to me. And now I know so many productive and active people in the community there that it's hard for me not to think about that city almost every day between social media feeds and other conversations I have.